Chapter 4, Lesson 7 is Convert Between the Systems. So it says here, to raise money for a health organization, the Matthews family is participating in a 5K race. A 5K race is 5 kilometers. How many meters long is the race? So we're looking at 5 kilometers, and kilo means how many? 1,000. So that means, what do I have to do to this 5 to get meters? You're going to multiply times 1,000, right? So 5 times 1,000 is 5,000 meters. Very good. Number 2 says 1 mile is approximately 1.6 kilometers. How many miles is the race? Now this one is not as simple as that first one, right? So this one, we have to show some work. And guess what kind of work we're going to show? Dimensional analysis. Very good. So, dimensional analysis. Once again, we are converting units. It is very important in this lesson that you write your units, because this is changing units between the systems also. So 1 mile is approximately 1.6 kilometers. This is what we call our conversion factor. And that is the ratio that we're going to use to convert. So we're starting with 5 kilometers. So we write in the starting block 5 kilometers. If you want, you can put this over 1. Okay? Now, we have 1 mile here is approximately equal to 1.6 kilometers. Where am I going to put mile and kilometers in the second fraction so that kilometers will cancel? On the bottom. Very good. So we're going to put 1.6 kilometers on the bottom, and then the rest of the ratio goes on top. So that's going to be 1 mile. Very good. Now, you can see that kilometers on the top, kilometers on the bottom, those cancel. And what are we left with? We're left with miles, and that's what we're looking for. Now with dimensional analysis, in that chart, now it's just this fraction times the second fraction. So we're just going to multiply straight across. So when we multiply straight across, we end up with 5 miles over 1.6. And now I can do this division. So we got 3.125 when we simplified 5 divided by 1.6. So that's 3.125. And my units are going to be miles. Very good. Now, here it says approximately how many miles. So we could say this is approximately how many miles? 3. Now here they rounded to the nearest tenth. So that's a little more accurate than just 3. So here we're converting between measurement systems again. Now, you know, when we first did dimensional analysis, it's the ones that you knew, right? We went from feet to inches, or hours to minutes, or minutes to seconds, or meters to kilometers, right? Here, these are the ones that we don't really know that well memorizing. So here, when we are doing this dimensional analysis, when we're converting from the customary units to metric, then I will always give you a conversion chart. Okay? So here you can see 1 inch is equal to 2.54 centimeters. 1 mile is 1.61 kilometers. 1 ton is equal to 907.2 kilograms. So these are the ratios that you're going to use as your conversion factor. Okay? So let's take a look at these examples. So here we are converting 17.22 inches to centimeters, and we're going to round to the nearest hundredth if necessary. Okay? So looking up the conversion factor, it says that 2.54 centimeters is approximately equal to 1 inch. That is the ratio that we're going to use in our dimensional analysis to convert. So we're going to start with 17.22 inches. Now, to have inches cancel, we have to put inches on the bottom. So then you can see that inches and inches will cancel. Does everybody see that? Yeah? And now you're just going to multiply straight across. So when you do that, you end up with 43.7388 centimeters, which rounds to the nearest hundredth, 43.74. All right, so this one is, this example 2 is very similar to the one in the warm-up, so I'm just going to go ahead and skip that. You can read over that in the notes if you'd like. All right, so let's do some got it problems together. All right, so here we want to convert, and we want to round to the nearest hundredth if necessary. So we are going to convert 6 yards to meters. So in the starting block here, we're going to put 6 yards, right? Now we are converting from yards to meters. So yards to meters, we need to go back up to our conversion chart. And let's see, what do we have? Yards to meters. Do you see it? 1 yard, 0.19 meters. Very good. So we're going to put that in our chart, our dimensional analysis chart. Now, how am I going to put it in there? Where am I going to put it so that yards will cancel? Very good. Yards goes on the bottom, right? So 1 yard on the bottom. And what was the decimal up here? 0.91. And that is meters, right? So now you can see that yards and yards will cancel. And now this is just 6 times 0.91 over 1. So we're just multiplying straight across. So when we multiply straight across, we get 6 times 9.1, and that gives us, I messed up. 6 times 0.91, there, so 5.46, right? So 5.46, and what are my units? Meters. Very good. And you can see that that's going to be meters because it's the only thing left in the chart. You see that? So here, let's do 1.6 centimeters to inches. So once again, we're going to put centimeters in the starting block. So that's 1.6 centimeters. Okay, and we're going to convert. Look at the conversion chart, right? So what are we doing again? Centimeters to inches. So what's my conversion?
1 inch equals 2.54.
Very good. Okay, so now we're going to put, how am I going to put that into the chart?
Centimeters
on the bottom. Very good. So what is it? 2.54 centimeters in the denominator, and that's equal to 1 inch in the numerator. So now you can see that centimeters and centimeters will cancel, and we are left with inches. And of course, we're going to just multiply straight across. So when I multiply straight across, I get 1.6 inches over 2.54. And now we can simplify this by dividing. So we have 1.6 divided by 2.54, and this is what we get. So rounding to the nearest hundredth, what's my final answer going to be? 3. Very good. So this is approximately equal to 0.63 inches. All right, letter C, we're doing 17 meters to yards. So again, we've got 17 meters. That goes in the starting block, and you can put this over 1. All of these you can put over 1 if you want, right? And then we're going from meters to yards. So meters to yards, where's meters to yards?
1 yard equals 0.91.
0.91. Very good. So 1 yard equals 0.91 meters. Didn't we do one like that already?
Yeah.
Oh, and so we were just now we're converting back to yards, right? So where does meters go?
On the bottom.
On the bottom. So what did we say it was? 0.91 meters? All right. So we've got 0.91 in the denominator, and that's meters, and that's equal to 1 yard. Very good. So now meters and meters will cancel, and we are going to then just multiply straight across. So we're going to multiply straight across, and we end up with 17 yards. Very good. Over what? 0.91. Very good. And now we can go ahead and do that division. Very good. So we've got 17 divided by 0.91, and what did you get?
18.681.
All right. So what is your final answer going to be?
18.68
Very good. 18.68 what?
yards.
Very good. Don't forget your units. Your units, especially in dimensional analysis, is very important. So here, with the first examples, we were converting, what were we converting? We were converting like length, right? Mostly length. Now, in this one, we're just converting the weight and mass and capacity. So it's still the same steps, it's just different units, right? All right. So here we're converting 828.5 milliliters to cups. So once again, we're going to start with the 828.5 milliliters. We're going to use the conversion. 1 cup is equal to 236.59 milliliters. And then you'll see that milliliters and milliliters cancel. And then we just multiply straight across. So when we multiply straight across and then simplify our division, we end up with 3.5 cups. Is everybody clear with that? Okay. Same thing with these. Okay. We're going to start with the 3.4 quarts to milliliters. They give us the conversion factor up here. We place it so that quarts and quarts cancel, and we end up with milliliters, which is what we're looking for. We're going to multiply straight across, and we end up with 3,217.59 milliliters. Okay? All right, so we're going to put the 7.44 in the starting block, so that's going to be 7.44, that's cups, and we are converting to milliliters. Okay, so we need to, and you can put this over 1 if you want to also. So let me go to the conversion chart and look at what our conversion factor is. Where am I going to put, this is milliliters, right? Where am I going to put milliliters and cups so that cups will cancel? Cups on the bottom. Very good. So this is going to be 1 cup down here. And then what was it? 236.59. And that's milliliters in the numerator. And now you can see that the cups and cups will cancel, and we're going to multiply straight across. So 236.59 times 7.44 is equal to
1,160.
And if I'm rounding to the nearest hundredth, 0.23. Very good. So 1,760, 1,760 point what? 0.23, oops. 0.23, and what are my units? Very good. And please notice it's little m, capital L for milliliters. Is everybody clear? All right. So for example E, we're going to start with 22.09 pounds. And then we're converting to kilograms. So we are going to go back to our conversion chart. So we're looking at pounds to kilograms. So pounds to kilograms are right there. So 1 pound is equal to 0.4536 kilograms. So pounds is on top, so we want to put pound, 1 pound on the bottom, and 0.4536 kilograms in the numerator. And then, of course, we're going to multiply straight across. You'll see here that pounds in the numerator and pounds in the denominator will simplify, or will cancel out, and now we can multiply. So 0.4536 times 22.09, and that gives me 10.020024. Since we're rounding to the nearest hundredth, my final answer will be 10.02. So we've got 10.02 kilograms. Good. For the last example, well, for example F, we're going to start with 35.85 liters. And we are converting to gallons. So once again, we're going to go back to our conversion chart, and we want liters to gallons. So let's see. Here's 1 gallon is equal to 3.79 liters. So let me put 3.79 in the calculator so I can remember it. So 1 gallon is equal to 3.79 liters. All right, so we go back, and liters will go on the in the denominator, so that's going to be 3.79 liters, and that's equal to 1 gallon. So now you can see that liters and liters will cancel, and we're going to multiply straight across. So when we multiply straight across, we get 35.85, whoops, .85, and that's gallons. And we are going to divide that by 3.79. So now we can go ahead and grab the calculator. So that's going to be, clear that out, 35.85 divided by 3.79, and that gives us 9.46. Let me just double check that because I accidentally pressed the wrong button. So 35.85 divided by 3.79. Yep. So that's going to give us this decimal, and we're rounding to the nearest hundredth, so that's the 5. So the 9 tells us that we need to round up. So we're going to end up with 9.46. So my final answer is 9.46 gallons. All right. For the final example here, it says an Olympic-sized swimming pool is 50 meters long. We want to know about how many feet long is the pool. So here, the conversion that they are giving us is 1 foot is approximately equal to 0.30 meters. So this is the ratio that we're going to use. So we're starting off with 50 meters. 0.30 meter is going to go down in the denominator so that you can see that meters and meters will cancel, and that's equal to 1 foot. That goes in the numerator. So here, meters and meters will cancel, And then when we multiply straight across, we end up with 50 over 0.30. So we're multiplying straight across, so that's 50 over 0.30. So now we can do that division, and we end up with a repeating decimal that we will round to the nearest 100th. So that's going to give us 166.67 feet.